Powerful. So I want to speak a little bit about this path. Now let's talk about your work experience.
Okay.
Because now you get to start grinding. So your first job was cleaning places.
Yes. My first job was cleaning.
How was that first paycheck?
Hey, first of all, let me tell you. Because you see that they pay by the hour. It doesn't matter what you do, it's by the hour. So I can't remember how much it was. Imagine, I can't remember. Maybe $10 an hour, and I spent 2.5 hours in one house. I can't remember anyway. But that first paycheck, I was like, where? I have money. So continued, and I'd never see the owner of the house. The key would be left somewhere. I open the door, I see a note on the counter, and she says, clean this room, this room, this room, and this, that. The soap is I don't know where. So I do my thing and leave the house and go. Yeah, so...
And you'd get that job through an agent?
Yes.
Okay.
So the agent would call, there's this house and this is the address, you go. Now I needed more money. So I'd applied for jobs and I wasn't getting them. And then I decided, okay, I really need money. So then I saw an ad. And this time I was still really desperate because I was still trying to get money for my upkeep. And so this job was for delivering juice and milk. And it said, you need a hat because it was summer, a lot of water, and you need to be fit. I was like, I'm fit. Me, I can run. What is it?
From Nairobi, Kenya.
Wow. This job, let me tell you, I did it for one day. One day. Do you know what it was?
No.
It was a truck. You dandia the truck. It doesn't stop, It just slows down. Jump off, take juice, milk, run to the door, run back, you tick. This is the next one. Okay, go. The next person goes. Okay, house number, they need milk, they need juice, they need orange juice. This one needs pineapple. Guy.
And you go back and dandia?
You dandia. You run, chase it, jump on it. Guy. And you know the summers in Australia? 40 degrees average.
Whoa.
Temperature. 44. Have you ever experienced 40 degrees? With flies inside your eyes, inside. There are flies, first of all, you do this, they don't move, Let me just tell you, I did it for one day. I said, anyway, I think there's other work for me. And then I was like, I'm done doing this thing. My friends are driving cars, maybe they're the ones over there. My classmates who are Muzungus, who have nice jobs elsewhere. I'm like, this is embarrassing. I can't do this work. Oh, Lord. Anyway.
But I like the job hunting, and you're trying.
And I tried. So that one I said, okay, I'm not that desperate. At least I still have the cleaning job. So this one, see. So continued looking, and then one of the things that...
And these jobs you do on the weekends or on your every day after school?
So you see what happens is that school was interesting because you had classes in the morning, sometimes you don't have in the afternoon. So classes you could choose classes based on how you're working.
Okay.
Yeah, there was classes in the morning, classes in the evenings as well. So you can sort of pick and choose how you want to have your classes so that you can work also. So it was flexible.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and then you're not. Let me also be clear. You know, a lot of times when we have financial conversations, when people are giving, they're like, oh, by the way, just take 20% of your income and save it. Why are you saving 20% of your income? Oh, it was hand to mouth. At this time, it's survival. It's survival.
First, I didn't even know what is that. What have you just said? What is saving? What have you just said? I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
Okay, actually, I've got a good question. Knowing what you know now.
Yeah.
With that same paycheck, because there are people who are earning it in that situation. In fact, this is such a good question. With that paycheck, let's say, and with that situation, because it's not even the paycheck and the situation of life. When you're telling people to invest, when you're telling people, because there are people who are making that kind of living now, 40-year-old and have children. You get what I mean?
What kind of living do you mean?
It's hand to mouth.
Okay,
it's not $2.
Yeah.
It's 100,000 shillings, but it's still hand to mouth.
Yeah,
you get what I mean? So my thing to ask is, does that advice still remain from an advisory perspective?
Save 20%.
No, not forget the percentage. Save, invest.
100%.
For real.
Yes.
Let's talk about this, Rina. Change somebody's life right now.
Okay, the point is this, yeah? If I lived my life that way, Richie, still doing those jobs that are getting me enough to eat, when would I have impacted anybody's life? When would I have had any time to think about anyone else other than my stomach?
Never.
How? Right? Like, I was not born to just think about my stomach.
True that.
Right? I mean, God has a purpose for each and every one of us. We are all talented and gifted in such amazing ways to make a massive impact. Let's first start there. And so if I get into the space where there's seasons, yes, and there's seasons that we go through, all of us, where, yes, you don't have enough even for yourself, but you can't be in that season 24/7 forever.
Aha, I like that.
Yeah? So even when you're in that space, you're thinking and trying to figure out, how do I get out of this?
It's why you're getting this other job.
Exactly.
It's why you're trying to...
I'm trying to
in
find
fact, you're saying
another
my income needs to raise.
Yeah.
That's
so
what
if I'm in that situation right now, where it's hand to mouth, I can't just be like, oh, this is my fate, hand to mouth until I die. No. What else can I do? What other thing do I have the ability to do to be able to raise more money so that I have enough to be able to put aside for my future, for my children's education, for my future needs? Because, gosh, we'll work for 40 years and live for another 40.
Yeah.
Where will the other 40, where will money come from for my other 40?
I love what you're saying. What I'm hearing you say is, at this stage, first and foremost, you have to have a mindset of one day I need to save. But you're also saying that mindset is then what triggers you to begin to look for more opportunities. But it starts with the mindset. If you're not thinking of one day even I want to save, where are we
It's
going
not
to
even
get?
about I want to save. In fact, saving is not the mindset.
Yes, I want better.
Okay. What is the lifestyle I want to have? And how can the money that I am earning produce money that finances my lifestyle? So that then my lifestyle is not being financed by what I'm earning.
I get it.
Am I making sense?
Yes, you're talking about moving to passive income.
Yes. Basically,
Life
like
is
a
about,
Kikuyu would say, you have cows. Cindy, you have cows. I can't have cows and then eat my cows. My cows need to produce calves, and it's from those calves that then I can finance my lifestyle. So your income is your seed. If I eat all my seed, I'll end up with nothing at the end of the day. So when I get seed, that income that I receive, I have to plant that seed as well, so that then it produces fruit, and then I eat from the fruit, not the seed. Otherwise, then I cut off my ability to continue to live. Otherwise, I'll have to work until I'm 100.
Hey, Rina, I really pray that a 25-year-old, or how old are you at this time? 20.
I was 20.
Even actually, I don't care how old people are, because there are people who are earning $1 million, but it's still, it's not about the money, it's not about the amount, it's about the mindset that this thing here is what's going to make you sleep, and in your sleep, you still have, it's your seed. Let me just say, I can't even make it sound better than how you've said it. Your income is your seed to help you attain the life that it is that you want to have.
And it takes time.
Ooh.
Yeah, it takes time. It's not it will happen in 1 year. No. On average, some research was done, and they found that on average in the US, because that's where most research is done, it takes about 28 years for people to become wealthy. To have $1 million, it takes about 28 years. So for you to get to the place where you're replacing your income with income from your investments and your assets, it takes time. So if you start at 40,
Yeah.
okay, the beauty about it is that you have experience,
Relationships,
you have networks, you're wiser. So it may not take you as long, but the point is that the earlier you start, the easier the process is. Yes, you have time, you make your mistakes, but it gets easier. And it's easier when you start younger.
Yep.
But if you wait for long, sometimes you never get there.
And if you do what, unfortunately, it is that we're seeing, which is being glorified on the social medias, which is attaining your lifestyle using your seed.
Yeah, so that's another thing. People just have to...
Delayed gratification.
Yeah, but even because you can use that term and people are like, yeah, okay, whatever, I hear you and I know. The point is that we use others as our yardstick. Today, I will walk out, enter my car. We have, I have a small car. I enter it and I drive and I arrive somewhere and people look at me and like, what does she know about money? They've measured me by what I am driving. But do you know, guys, what I have is not a measure. The things you see, where I choose to live today, is not a measure of the wealth I have. And it's a mistake we make. I look at Richie, he's wearing a bow tie, he's wearing this nice tuxedo. And I decide, wait, I need to measure up to Richie, because then it will show I have money.
Would you date yangu?
Yeah.
Would you expenses yangu? You don't know my income, you know nothing. You've just exterior has, yep.
Yeah, and so we have this social comparison that we do, and that, I mean, you can never...
Rina, let me just ask it the way it is. And of course, I'm not expecting you to name a single person. You, from an investment banker's perspective, you have clients who have billions of shillings. Yeah. Billions! I don't mince my words when I say that. Can they walk here and nobody knows them?
Absolutely, very many. There's some you'll even dismiss because of what they're driving, what they're wearing. Completely dismiss them. Because they don't look like what they have at all. And that's a big lesson, and I love that I learned that lesson. And so for me, that's, you're not my yardstick. You who drives a nice shiny car and lives in a nice shiny neighborhood, you're not my yardstick. This guy who has amazing wealth, making amazing impact, that's who I'm learning from and who I'm watching, because that's what I am. And that's my path. So, yeah, have I answered your question?
You have. I know you've not yet answered it for people, but we're still in the story. That's why you keep watching.
Yeah.
But
so the mistake I find we make, especially Black people, whether those Black people are in the US, in Congo, in South Africa, or in Kenya, is wanting to wear our wealth so that people can respect me. Right? You want to look a certain way so that people can respect you. But what is wealth for, Richie? What is wealth for you? Tell me.
In my perspective, two things. One, to finance my vision and goal. Two, to ensure that I give my kids a leg up. If I can do those two things, I live, if the finances or the wealth that I have enables me to finance my vision and goals and dreams with ease. You know, I'm not here thinking, oh my God, I have 7 CTA shoots to do, 80 G's times 70, 100, I'm just, and then number two, can my kids go to school? You see that thing that you're talking about, your mom's school fees? If we get sick, there's an emergency, I'm able to do that. If I can do that, but it's taking me a while to get here, then I'm cool.
Yeah, yeah. And beyond that, being able to also worship God with your time, with your talent, right? But also with your money. Because if you're not doing that and just living for yourself, then what is life about? I mean, when you think about time after we've been here and you died today, it's not going to be announced that you lived in such a nice house and you are such an inspiration because you drove a certain car. No, it's about the lives that you changed. That's the impact that's going to leave a legacy for you. And so for me, that's what I'm chasing. I'm chasing impact. And I know it sounds like fluff, but it is not fluff for me. Yeah. It's not fluff for me. So whether you think that, oh, it doesn't drive the nice car, by the way, you have no idea how many lives we are impacting as our family because of the choices that we are making. But that, for me, is what gives me fulfillment. So yes, I talk about money a lot, but money
is a tool.
Is a tool.
Is a tool.
Money is a tool that will help me achieve the things that God has set for me to do. It will enable me to bless ministries, it will enable me to bless families, it will enable me to travel and go to places and finance that sort of thing without, oh my gosh, I can't. You know, I can hop on a plane and go to the US and do something for me that I need to be able to do and come back home and didn't burn anything and I'm okay. But now, if I live to be able to drive what? A Maserati?
Yes.
Really? And then?
Switching to that mentality is a conversation we're going to come later on to have. But because you sound like you're to drive my question in university, the spirituality. Are you going to church?
Oh, wow.
Are you still continuing? No, because the reason why I'm thinking this
Yeah.
is because I'm just like, there's something that's ingrained in you that when I say vision, for me, vision and others are one.
Yeah.
Vision is never for yourself,
Yeah.
ever. So for you to be where you're at, there's a God thing that is ingrained in you.
Yeah.
I'm like, in university, for me, that thing was nowhere in the building.
Okay, yeah. So my university is very colorful.
Hello, hello. My name is Pius Muchiri Mugo, and I'm here in my first class in session, and I'm the managing director of Nabo Capital. And what do I do at Nabo Capital? It's a very simple thing. We are in the business of making people wealthy. That's what we do at Nabo Capital. So welcome to my class in session on investing with purpose. Let's have some fun. So that's a very good question. What does investing with purpose mean? You know, I meet a lot of people out here, and because they know I'm in the business of investing, they ask me, Pius, what rates are you guys offering? And I tell them, wait. The investment profession is like medicine. It's like, I'm like a doctor. If you ever meet any investing professional who just tells you what to invest in, just know that's a quack. Because you don't go to hospital and you're prescribed a medicine without first of all knowing what you're suffering from. So if you come with a neck problem, we sort out a neck problem. What do I mean by this? Investing is not a hobby. Investing is a life skill. So we help people to achieve their end goals. So our purpose is not to help you make 1,000% return, 100% return, 50% return. That means nothing. Our purpose is, how can we help you to achieve your financial goals? What are some of the financial goals that we tend to meet most of our customers with? Education. 9 out of 10 of our customers tell us, I am investing for education. So instead of allowing them to try and craft the solution themselves, we use our financial expertise to say, okay, when do you want yours? Let me give an example. I think it's easier to give an example. We had this colleague of ours who unfortunately passed on in 2006. And he left 2 kids. One was in, I think, standard 4. The other one was in nursery. After we were done with all the burial arrangements, it was time now to distribute the benefits. And he had said, very jokingly, if anything happens to him, please divide the benefits into 4. My wife, my mother, my son, my daughter. So the children were underage. So we need to find out how to go about that. But they were all in school. The mother was taking care of widows and children who had been left behind by his brothers. 9 brothers had passed on. 8 brothers had passed on before him, leaving very many children who had become dependent on him. And now he was gone. And now this old woman was going to be the sole breadwinner for them. So he said, you know what, let's call them to the office. We called them to the office. We told the old woman, if we send money to you, we think it would even risk your life because everybody will know you have money. Why don't you allow us to form a trust for you, and then we'll be disbursing money to you to be able to pay school fees for these children. She said, tick, I will go along with that. The children, it was obvious we had to also form trusts. So we formed 3 trusts. That was 2006. Then I sat back. I asked myself, this son who was in standard 4, why is he likely to go to high school? Why is he likely to go to university? What are the costs of university? How much is it likely to be that time because of inflation? So we did all the numbers, and then we now put together a plan and made an investment where we were going to get cash flows. And those cash flows were going to be used to pay for their school fees and anything else that they need, like shopping and all that. Fast forward, we're in 2024.
Uh-huh.
They have never touched the money that their father left behind.
The principle.
The principal. In fact, it is more than what he left behind. Number two, the son finished high school, finished university, and came and interned at our business for about a year or two, and went and set up his own business. But even now that he's a major, he is like, this portfolio should continue being with you guys.
Oh my.
He's a major. Then the other girl, she is, I think, just finishing Form 4, or just finished Form 4 last year. The one who was in nursery never touched her money. Her money is intact. It's as if their father is still alive. Now, the old woman in upcountry also has educated almost all the children. Every month, every term, we send money to them. That has brought a different kind of satisfaction to me. It is more than making billions of shillings, because we've seen lives change. And this is just one of the story. So what was the purpose? The purpose was to invest for education. Then we asked ourselves, why should we do this for people when they're dead? Why can't we do this for people when they're alive? And now we have given this opportunity to everybody, including myself. I'm also in it. Yeah? My kids, for my kids to go to school wherever they are, I counted, if I was to pay it out of my pocket, it will take 14 years for them to finish from KG1 to grade 12. Guess how much it was going to cost me? 14 million shillings per child.
Per child.
Per child.
And how many now?
And I have 5 kids. So I was like, this is quite an investment. Actually, not an investment, because that is money leaving us.
Yes. It's quite an expense.
It is quite an expense. So I said, ask the team, the investment team, what size of portfolio do I need to educate my child? I was in shock with their response.
Can I ask what that was?
They came back with a solution. See, if I build a portfolio of 80 million shillings for every child.
80?
8 million. 8 million.
Okay.
Meaning 6 million less than 14, which would leave my pocket. I would be able to educate my child without ever going back to my pocket for the 14 years that they will be in school. Now, the icing on the cake is that on the principal, I would still have a big chunk of my principal by the 14th year. Enough to take them to university wherever they want to go. America, UK, nowadays people even go to China. So that is investing for education. The purpose is education. And I discovered, you know what? The rich people, they don't pay education from their pocket. They have portfolios that pay for education, but the principle is never touched. So if you create wealth here, you never go down. But the majority of us, you create wealth here, you use it to pay for education, you come down, and then like that, you're always going up and down. So we call some of these things the big disruptors of life. Home ownership, education, medical emergencies, they're called big disruptors of life. What does that mean? It means if you don't take care of them individually, when they happen, your life goes into chaos. You might not even have food to eat because you have somebody who is in the hospital. What do most people do in their prime life when they're earning their highest? They pay for education and they get into a mortgage home ownership program. That's the only thing that most people achieve. But that also explains why majority of the people, once they retire, the majority of them are poor and their glory days are behind them. That should never be a story of anybody if you invest with purpose.
So powerful. You've kicked this thing off with some motto. To dwell on this investing with purpose conversation, I want us to demystify then. What is investing? What's the difference between investing and saving? If you were to break it down very layman to the audience watching, this is the class in session. What would you say investing is?
Okay. Let me start by an observation that I made, and I want you to imagine this. You have friends.
Mm-hmm. One of them is seated here.
One of them is seated here. I want you to think about 2 or 3 friends you have. Close friends. I want you to remember where they all live. I want you to just picture which schools their kids go to, which clubs they visit, the kind of entertainment that they have. Hold that picture. Now, I also want you to think about where do they make their money? How do they finance this lifestyle? Are they employed? Do they have a business? It's one of the two, right? Now, I want you to think 20 years from today. Yeah? I'm assuming majority of them, the average age will be around 40. So 20 years from today, they will be what?
60.
60. I want you to ask yourself one question. Do you think they will be able to afford the same lifestyle that they have today if they continue with the way they live?
I want to keep my friends. but I don't think so.
Very simple. If you look at, I look at Nabo Capital today, the average age is below 30. The average age in our organizations is below 30. So assume I'm 40. 20 years from today, I'll be 60. Okay, I'm not 40, I'm over 40. I'll be 60. Do you really think, should I really imagine myself still in Nabo Capital? So majority of the people we are discussing here, they will not be in the jobs that they have today.
True.
Their businesses, 20 years from today, might also be completely disrupted by technology or anything else.
Redundant completely.
Completely made redundant. So the question is, 20 years from today, can they still have 2 cars parked outside their houses? Can they still afford to buy a new car, refresh a new car? Or will they hold on to their old car? Will they be able to maintain, even if they own the house, will they be able to maintain the same house that they live in? Pay the same gardeners, maintain the nice lawns, have the nice things that, you know? And the sad answer is, for me, in my own observation, as the majority of the people are not prepared for what is to come 20 years from today. Now, here comes investing. Investing is about depriving yourself instant gratification, delaying it so that you benefit. You pay the price for the future today.
Whew. Say that again. I love it.
Investing is about thinking 20 years from today and doing something today that will impact 20 years from today. It is dictating how your 20 years from today, how it will look like and how you will live your life. That's investment. That's what investing is all about. Investing is not a hobby. Investing is not something you do because you hear people are doing it. Investing is something you do because you must do it so that you see your future, how it's supposed to be.
This is so powerful because what I've not had you negate is age.
Absolutely.
So if 20 years ago I had watched this class in session and listened to somebody say the exact words that are leaving your mouth and acted accordingly, and consistently, I would be now reaping the fruits
Absolutely.
for every sacrifice
Absolutely.
and delayed gratification that I did along the journey.
Absolutely. So let's come back to investing. Investing has only one purpose. One purpose. To help you to make money while you're sleeping or while you're doing the things that you love to do every single day of the year. Investing is about helping you to make money while you're on holiday, while you're taking care of a loved one, while you're doing other things, while you're pursuing, even this one that I love the most, while you're pursuing your ultimate earthly assignment. Investing is about generating one thing, passive income. And that's what we call passive income, the money that you make while you sleep. Investing is about changing the whole rhetoric about money. It's about money working for you instead of you working for money. Majority of us, if you didn't come from an extremely wealthy family, at some point you had to work for money. But that is not sustainable. And that's why most of us, including our friends, will not be able to maintain the lifestyle that we have today 20 years from today. Because if you are still working for money, if you're still working to pay bills, if you're still working to pay education, if you're still working to do all these things, and if you don't do them, they will not. If you're not working, those things will not happen. Then that means you're living on active income.
Active income.
You're living on active income. And that is not sustainable because we have agreed 20 years from today, most of the people will not be doing what they're doing today.
With how technology is going, 20 years even feels far.
I am just being extravagant here. With time. But if you are 40 years today, 20 years, which is a very short period of time, you'll be 60. You cannot be looking for a job when you're 60. You'll be the oldest, you'll be the slowest guy in the team. Unless you're in this career that mature like wine, you're a doctor. Okay, you're an investment professional like us, also we get to mature.
If you like
wine.
talking on camera.
Yeah, if you like talking on camera. Yeah. But we don't know. This thing that we are doing today that is called, that we are shooting, we don't know how this will be happening 20 years from today.
True.
Yeah. People will just be pressing a button and they record themselves. And it comes out the best. No human being can be able to do that. We must be prepared for that future. But the thing is this, investing is about putting down the money that you would have used today aside and in putting it somewhere where you demand a return from it. And then that return grows, which is what we call passive income. And then you start living on that passive income instead of living on active income. Everybody must make that switch.
I love the conversation already. So insightful, so much value. I want to go back to the question that I asked. And that question is, you never put an age limit when you gave your example on investing.
No.
So, investing with purpose, who is it for? Who can invest with purpose? Is it for, actually, I just throw that to you.
Investing is not for some people or some organization. Investing is for everybody. And I keep saying again, investing is a survival skill. So investing with purpose is for everybody. A billionaire, somebody who is listening to me and lives in the slum, investing in purpose is for them, is for everybody. And we look at investing like building a house. If you're building a house, you start from foundation.
Yep.
Then you go to the walling, roofing, then you you start doing the interior and any other thing that you want to do. But you must start from the foundation. Now, this is what I like about investing with purpose. Whether you're a billionaire or you come from the slum and you come to me, I'll ask you, if what you do today to earn a living was disrupted and it no longer it can no longer provide for you, how would your life look like? Can you sustain the lifestyle that you're used to today? And as long as you have active income,
The answer is no.
The answer is no. So we ask the question, how much do you need to survive if everything else that provides for you ceases? How much do you need to still live in the same neighborhood, drive the same car, go to the same clubs, have the same friends? How much do you need? Take your kids to the same school. How much do you need? And by the way, it's funny enough, even billionaires just tell me 100 to 200,000 shillings. Others, they will also have their goals. Someone from who is not as privileged will also have their number. Maybe 20,000 bob, or 30,000 bob, or 10,000 bob, whatever that number is. We make it our goal. How do we start a portfolio that will provide that 10,000 bob every month? That 100,000 bob every month. And that portfolio, we have a name for it. We call it lifestyle portfolio.
Let's break down this conversation. What is then a portfolio?
What is a portfolio? Thank you, that's a very good question. A portfolio is a combination of assets that we have put together that can generate the passive income that is necessary for you to be able to maintain your lifestyle or whatever goal you have for a very long period of time. So if you look at, for example, the family that I gave an example of my former colleague, there was a number we came up with. If we can have this number every month or every quarter when we need to pay for school fees, call it 200,000 bob. We can be able to educate these children until they finish, and they will still leave the inheritance untouched. And that's exactly what happened. That was an education for them. But now for a lifestyle portfolio is, if you need 100,000 to pay your bills, pay your rent, pay everything, we'll say, you probably need, 5 million, 10 million, bob, whatever it is. What's a combination of assets? Maybe we'll buy some treasury bills, we'll buy some bonds, or whatever it is. That combination of assets that generate that cash flow is what we call a portfolio. It is your secret sauce.
It is what uses your principle to then create
it's a combination of assets.
Yes. Sticking to this portfolio.
So I can give an analogy.
Okay, give an analogy.
When you go to hospital and you're suffering from malaria, the doctor, you see, you have a purpose. The purpose is to treat
the malaria.
You have symptoms of headache, and then there's the malaria itself. You may not be having appetite to eat. When you go to, when the doctor listens to, he puts together a combination of medicine, a combination of drugs that will sort out the headache, will sort out the appetite, and then will sort out the real issue of malaria.
Yes.
Those three drugs are a portfolio of drugs. But they sort out one big issue. So for us, when you come, your problem is what? Lifestyle. If things get disrupted, you can't survive. That is a problem we set our eyes on. So we put together a combination of things that will give you the income just enough for you to survive when your business is disrupted, or when you're told at work your services are no longer required. That's a portfolio.
I'm going to stick on this portfolio conversation because suddenly it's opened up my mind to the amount of different types of portfolios you can create.
Yes.
That's the amount of different people who can use portfolios. Let me give an example. If I'm in the diaspora and I know it's January, but I know in December I want to come to Nairobi. I want to go to Mombasa. I'll need about 300 Gs in cash. I want my tickets paid for, or even my tickets, I'll pay for that. It's okay. Can a portfolio be created for that?
That is what investing in Papa is all about. There is no goal that I cannot help you to achieve. I even had a client who wanted to buy a Range Rover every 5 years? See, I hate driving old cars. So I wanted to put together a portfolio that I can always buy a new Range Rover every 5 years. I sell the old one and I get a new one. So you say, how much does a Range Rover cost? It costs X amount of money. Okay, fine. So how much will you put in the portfolio every month? X amount of money. And by the 5th year, if a Range Rover costs 25 million, we'll have 25 million shillings ready to buy a brand new Range Rover. He won't even feel it because we've been buying a Range Rover for 5 years without knowing. So if you want to go on a cruise, I had another group of women. See, ever since they got to 50 years, every so often they go and do a cruise, all of them. So every 2 years. So they say, set up a portfolio for us. Every 2 years, we are guaranteed we are going on a cruise. Ticket is paid, the whole trip is booked, everything is booked, and nobody even feels any disruption in your day-to-day life because we have been doing it for 2 years.
Oh.
So whatever goal you have, even through Chums, which is an app that we will discuss a little bit about, we even have a goal for someone to take their date on a nice restaurant, a 5-day goal. I'm saving up. So like the people who are in campus, I want to take someone on a date next weekend. Start putting money every day for the next 5 days or whatever time you have. And on that day, you come withdraw everything, you take her for a date, and you guys have a good time.
I've got to ask this one before I transition to the next question, because I'm loving this conversation. CTA is under a company called Moapi Entertainment. Moapi Entertainment has expenses that we pay constantly when we're doing a shoot like this. Venue, there's our good friend Izo equipment, there's all these different things that are needed in order for a shoot like this to happen. Moapi is not an individual. Moapi is an institution. Can institutions then create portfolios?
Absolutely. We do it every day. We have one organization that, just to give an example, we have one organization that came and said, you know what, we have this amount of money. We do not want to touch it. They actually sold a very good asset. See, now we have this amount of money. We don't want to touch this money, but we want you to use this money, create a stream of cash flows or passive income that can help us to pay our operating expenses every month.
Oh.
So, see, our operating expenses are 100 million every month, or 50 million, or 20 million. Say, okay, fine. Say, okay, we have this size of portfolio. What can it be able to do? How much money can we generate with it? You say, okay, we can actually generate 20 million a month because it's a sizable portfolio. It's not a big asset. So it's what? It's been like 5 years.
So this company doesn't work to pay salaries?
No.
We're talking profit from a day. I mean, the expenses are reduced crazily.
Whatever they do with their core business now is for growth. So they introduced this line called investment income. And that investment income takes care of their operating expenses. So even Nabo, I remember just before COVID, we were doing something called 4DX, the 4 disciplines of execution. And this exercise, we asked ourselves, what is the one thing that if we did, would guarantee our business survival for 100 years. And after a long debate, we came up with this idea, recurrent income.
That's true.
We need recurrent income. We need money that is coming into the business without necessarily our customers coming through the door.
Ooh.
So we said, we stop looking at our revenues per year. We started looking at what are our revenues per month.
Yeah.
Then he say, if our revenues per month are
X
say,
amount.
Say 50 million, we want our expenses per month to not to be more than 30 million. Because then you create this cushion. So we call it RPM, revenue per month. So we said, if we are to boost our RPM, what do we need? And we said, there is a profit that we normally make. If we were to consolidate that profit and keep accumulating it, we'll have our own portfolio as NABO. So we start building a portfolio just for NABO. And the first thing that I wanted that portfolio to do is to be able to pay the salaries of all our employees every month.
Yeah.
Now, regardless of what we do in business, regardless of the ups and downs of business, if this portfolio can pay our employees, that's one big expense line taken care of.
And guaranteed motivation. At least from the...
Yeah, but it removes pressure from the business to perform regardless of environment. So we built a portfolio. And then March 2020 happens.
What?
COVID happens. You can't show up in the office. You cannot meet any customer. You cannot pitch. You cannot sell. You know? And let me tell you, this portfolio came through for us. We never laid off anyone.
No way.
We never reduced anyone's salary.
No way.
In fact, we recruited some people during COVID. If it was not for that forethinking, COVID would have hit us very badly. You know what COVID did? COVID exposed the businesses. I'm paraphrasing. I'm just using another. Where they say, you only know who is swimming naked when the tide goes.
Yep.
The businesses that depended on a customer to come to show up so they can pay for their lights and for their other bills, they were exposed by COVID. Those are the businesses that were retrenching. Because if the customer never showed up, no shilling went into the bank account.
Pius, are you trying to tell me that businesses are in the job of creating a profit to build a portfolio?
Every business should have a portfolio and should have an investment income line. Because what do they do with these profits? They must create a portfolio where things can do, they can be able to create investment income line. And when future opportunities come, they can dip into this portfolio and seize opportunities. And then those opportunities generate more cash flows. And those cash flows continue enriching the portfolio.
In fact, forgive me.
So it's a cycle.
It shouldn't even be considered as profit. It shouldn't be taken from profit. It needs to be looked at like rent. Do you know how
it is the same financial principles of individuals apply also to organizations. We tell individuals, a person must live within their means. Within their means means below their means. So that you have headroom. Organizations too must live within their means. They should not spend all their revenues. This cushion that is created, where does it go? It is not created just to sit in bank accounts. It is created so that you form portfolios, and those portfolios start generating investment income line as you look for more opportunities. And when you find these new opportunities or expansion programs that you get into, you dip into this portfolio without having to ask for your shareholders for more money. And then you boost more revenues, and then you create more cash flows, and then cash flows still continue pumping back into the portfolio. Yeah. So if I see a business that has investment income line, it draws my attention. Let me surprise you. Insurance companies, where do they make their money? It is a known thing that insurance companies make underwriting a loss or a break even. You just go look at the accounts. We are in first quarter of the year. Where insurance companies make money is investment income line. The best insurance, if I want to know which insurance company to go with, I look at the investment income line. That one is unlikely to disappoint me when my claim crystallizes. So, even a business has purpose.
Yes.
So some businesses, they give us their portfolios to grow their shareholder wealth. So we continue growing it fast, and they only are left with just what they need. Others, they say, please manage this portfolio, and we'll be coming every month to withdraw some amount of money so that we can pay for our expenses. That business, imagine the kind of freedom we give them to take risks and experiment and do amazing things. They operate with a completely different mindset because they're not trying to capture customers to pay bills. They're trying to capture customers to solve real human pain points. Those businesses are positioned to completely blow away a customer because they don't need the customer to survive. And the same thing to us. I always say, I'd love to go to a restaurant and be served by a waiter or waitress who does not need to be paid to survive. That waiter or waitress would serve me with the best smile because they come there like, I love what I do because I meet amazing people. The kind of engagement that waiter will give you will be like, I want to come back and I want to be served by the same person. The mindset is different.
What is it that has prevented us from having this mindset? First of all, I'm very grateful that you're here sitting down and pulling down the veils from the eyes of people. Let me even that was more a statement than it is a question.
Yeah.
Where to start? Because I'm hearing this is for everybody. If you're in the diaspora, if you're an institution, if you're young, if you're old.
Actually, you asked me about the diaspora.
Yes.
We have customers in diaspora who tell us amazing things. I live in the US. I come to Kenya once in a year. I want, when I come to Kenya, to spend Kenyan shillings. Not convert dollars into shillings. So for a year or two, they're just building a portfolio.
And are they necessarily building this portfolio in shillings or?
In shillings.
Okay.
So when they're coming to Kenya, they say, I'll be in Nairobi 2 weeks from today. Please fund my account with 300 or 400 or 500,000 bob. When they land, they find 300, 400 or 500 bob in their bank account. And that is what they use when they're here. They buy presents for people, they gift people, they do all manner of things. Zero pressure. Zero pressure. Others, they say, I support my parents, 20,000 bob every month. Can you create a portfolio that can be able to support can be paying this 20,000 every month? We create a portfolio and we start paying whoever the beneficiary is, or 20,000 shillings, maybe their mother, their father. You know what that does? It completely changes the dynamics because this mother or father or parents who are dependent on this person who is in diaspora. We delink
Yes.
the two. And if something happens, maybe the person in diaspora loses their job, or something happens that is unfortunate, it means their loved one continues to enjoy the same benefits that they were enjoying even before. So you don't create dependencies. You help the people you want to help to be independent and not to be dependent on you regardless of circumstances. And that's what investing with purpose is all about. So the reason why people are not doing it is because our mindset of investing is the old way. How much return is Nabo Capital generating? Which fund manager is generating the best returns? Which is a big thing going on? Bitcoin, people are buying land. People are just investing haphazardly. But investing, and I want everybody to remember this, is like building a house. You must start from the foundation. Foundation means when the worst happens, where will you fall up to here or will you fall to the ground? The lowest you should ever fall is where you maintain your same lifestyle that you have today. That's the lowest you should ever fall. You know, Richie, there's so many things that go on. I every time I drive into town very early in the morning and I see people sleeping on the streets of Nairobi or under the bridges, covered in a sack or something, I ask myself, how come this person does not care about his security? Because you cannot even imagine one night outside. And I realized, you know why? When your lifestyle falls below a certain level, you lose your human dignity. And when you lose your human dignity, you no longer care about security. In fact, you acquire like animal instinct. You know, you lose human dignity. Investing should start with that foundation to make sure you will never ever lose your human dignity. You will be clothed to you and your children. You will have food on the table. You will have a roof on top of your head. Those basic things. Whether you are a billionaire or whether you live in the slums, you must take care of them. And it doesn't take a miracle to do them. So forget returns.
Yes.
Let's make sure if the worst happens, you will never fall below the minimum
And if the
dignity that you deserve.
And if the best happens,
And if
you're going to have so many portfolios.
And now there are more portfolios.
To enable you to achieve all these different visions and dreams that you have.
Freedom.
Okay. We're coming back to the next question. That's just the first question.